यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। My best wishes and paripurna Ashirvadam. May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, health, wealth and eternal happiness with paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and entire your family members and friends. Let us begin the summary which we started from the last session. We have completed 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The whole 6th chapter from chapter 1st to 6th deals with only an individual consciousness. The complete detailed explanation of an individual as a physical aspects, psychological aspects and causal aspects. Because individual is born, he is endowed with body, mind and sense complex. So how he gets the body? Because of karma phala. Then what is karma? What is karma phala? Then what is the nature of the mind and body complexes? And what exactly to be understood as an individual person? The world gives you are an individual. You belongs to so and so's family. You belongs to so and so's son. You belongs to so and so's nation. You belongs to so and so's society. So all those knowledge are backed up already by all the educational system and social system. Society is always providing it, but Shastra provides in different way. By understanding which we can set ourselves with complete satisfied mind. So that it began with a problem. Okay, so Arjuna mind was an example. The mind which was corrupted was not able to make the decision. Then immediately Krishna came as a guru. He started the 2nd chapter. In the 2nd chapter he gave a supreme knowledge, the knowledge about Ishvara, the knowledge about Brahman. Then he started talking about action, then result of action and what kind of attitude we have to bring in the result. He started giving all secrets about actions and fruit of actions. The detailed karma and karma phalas theory, that's not the theory, it's a fact. He brought in 3 chapters. The karma yoga, karma sannyasa yoga, sannyasa yoga. All of them, they deal with only karma and karma phala and the attitude which we have to fix with the karma phala. And the attitude which we have to fix with the karma. And the self-understanding how it would be before entering into karma. All those detailed have been given already in 5 chapters. So you have to read again and again, again and again, again and again. Hereafter he is not going to talk about karma. So karma being an individual's related topic, he brought in 3 chapters elaborately. So what is the normal karma? What is the special karma? Special karma means what? Yajna, yaga, homa, japa, tapa, meditation. So everything is like a special karma by which you cannot earn a physical wealth or money, but it will bring everything what you need. It's a completely secret karmas. He elaborated in the 3rd chapter as Yajna Bhavana, Yajnas. In the 4th chapter also, he brought 12 kinds of Yajnas, and also he brought how we have to imply the implementation of the knowledge in Yajna Bhavana. Then in the 5th chapter, he brought what exactly sannyasa is. So all of them are dependent on Atma Jnanam. Only one thing is emphasized in the 6th chapter is self-realization, self-realization, self-realization. You have to understand yourself, then that self-realization must be backed up by the realization about the karma, karma phala, the attitude which have to be fixed with karma phala and karma. So all those things only related to us, it means related to you. That's very important. This is not the study of merely hearing the stories, listening to some kind of event which happened in Bhagavata or in Purana. It is completely regarding us. We have to listen to it again and again in order to digest. So complicated, the teaching is very thorough. The teaching is bringing in half an hour teaching. It's very complicated, but by the Ashirvad, blessings of Lord Venkata Chalapati, means Lord Venkateshwara, so we are able to bring and present it in beautiful way. And all the minds which listening to these sessions, definitely my prayers for them to get assimilated. In the last session, we began to summarize this 6th chapter. In the 6th chapter, first Bhagavan gives the means for meditation. Before that, the meaning of the word meditation that we have completed. There are two kinds of means introduced up to verse number 17. From the beginning to 17, he introduces two kinds of sadhanas. Sadhanas means the means in order to prepare yourself. Bahiranga sadhanas, the samatvam, then self-confident atma vishwasaha, then self-effort, prayatnam, atma prayatnam or swaprayatnam. And after that he introduced antaranga sadhanani. So 8 kinds of immediate things to be observed, like selecting the place has to be proper. Selecting the time is very important because your body, mind and sense complex is accompanied, completely connected with the nature. When sun is shining, so 12 noon you become so active, but in the morning from 4:30 to 6 or in the evening 5 to or 6 to 7:30, your mind remains in a sattvika attitude. So very suitable time. These are all in the beginning. So later on, so you need not consider the place. Wherever you are, that is meditation. And whatever the time you sit, that is the time for the meditation. Then asana must be selected. It should not to be too much high or low. It has to be proper. It has to be proper in size. Then when you sit for meditation, so many asanas are prescribed. Padmasana, Sukhasana, Siddhasana, Vajrasana, all these asanas are prescribed to have the meditation session to begin with. So these asanas will help because these all asanas, your spine is kept erected, means straight, so that body physical system won't get collapsed. In order to get asana siddhi, you should have undergone hatha yoga pratibhika. This is my personal suggestion, because when we walk, nose alone should go in front, okay? But because of the colorful food system, because of so many invention of the varieties, because especially in South India we have varieties of rices, varieties of dal, varieties of sambars, varieties of even rasam. So rasam we can provide prepare with a tamarind powder or neem rasam or tomato rasam or some kind of pepper rasam. Oh, so many varieties of rasams, so many varieties of sambar, and so many varieties of side dishes. And dressings, people call it a dressing. So many dressings like ice cream. So many varieties of ice cream. All those anugrahas, because of all of them, our tummy goes in front, nose goes behind. That is unhealthy for meditation. So only Lord Ganesha can sit in the meditation with the tummy, because he is the personality. He is the very flexible one. He can even dance with the tummy. So we cannot. So if the stomach is going in front, you cannot make a proper posture, because when you sit, your back will ache. You should get expert in asana. That will be very helpful. So in the beginning, because when you sit, sitting doing nothing is a big challenge. Even it is equal to collapse. You should not sit. People say you have to walk. So once in at least 11 minutes you should stand and sit. Should move. Now you're going to restrain the body movement and you are going to stop the mind, means it's a very challenging job. It's a very challenging job. You have to be very careful. Therefore, Hatha Yoga Pratibhika, Yoga Asana gives the ability to become very organized psychological physical system. Therefore, we have to follow that. In order to bring our pranas and all indriyas, karmendriyas in proper organized manner, we need to have asana siddhi. Then you have to practice pranayamaha in order to get the mano nigraha. That's what he began. Deshaha, kalaha, asanam, then sharira sthitihi, prana samyam. Then it is said as indriya nigraham and mano nigraham. Then finally buddhi nishchayam. These all is 8-folded antaranga sadhanani. Mano nigraham means not allowing mind to wander. Indriya nigraham means being with moderation. So mitam, hitam, medyam. So you have to be moderate with all habits, with the sleep, with the eating habit, or with food, or with all entertainment while doing the transaction. Then alone you can be a yogi. Yukta hara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu. So that is told as an antaranga sadhana. Then he began to give the body of the knowledge called meditation in 3-fold way. First he began as dharana. So in this subject I brought Patanjali's method. In the Patanjali method, the dharana means the same meaning to bringing all the attention in one place. Okay. So Vedanta says that one place is nothing but your center point, I, sir. That is very difficult, my dear. You cannot be with you. Still you are a child. Ask a child to sit calm and quiet. Don't move for 5 minutes. He will become sick. In the same way, though we are grown enough, we are able to restrain our thinking, we are able to organize our flow of thinking, but still we are not able to concentrate on the center I. It's very difficult because mind always goes out. Therefore, Patanjali method is beautiful method. First select object out. There you can have sajatiya vijati, sajatiya vrittihi. If you are not able to fix on one place, you can select a tree for the meditation as an object, because to set a sajatiya vritti, Because the mind has the nature of wandering, therefore you focus on the trunk first, then go to branch, branch to leaf, leaf to flower, flower to fruit, fruit to root, root to trunk, trunk to branch. You keep rounding in that. Now, mind is limited, still mind wanders with limited same subject. It's known as a dharana with a sajatiya vritti. Now you have given the territory, so within that territory mind wanders. Then the reduce, don't go to root, only stick with trunk. Then trunk to branch, branch to leaf, again trunk, branch, leaf, trunk, branch, leaf, then trunk, branch, finally trunk, trunk, trunk. Trunk, the middle portion of the tree. So this is how dharana should be began in the beginning according to the Patanjali's method. Then you are able to fix your mind in one place. There you have to get dharana siddhi, then dhyana siddhi. When you become one with, so you are able to stick with trunk for a length of time, it's known as dhyanam. Then you can get samadhi there itself. You become one with the trunk. The trunk only remains, known as savikalpa samadhi or samprajnata samadhi. You can become one with the trunk alone. You lost in the trunk. It's a samadhi. Then you can select. You are an eligible person to travel towards inside. Now you can select these indriyas. So those things, dharana, dhyanam, samadhi, in outside, known as by Patanjali, known as grahya samadhi. Then grahana samadhi. So you can select your eyesight is the subject for dharana. And eyesight, you become one with eyesight. Eyesight is very difficult because it goes, when the moving object comes in front of, because object keeps on moving, your mind, your eyes will move. Therefore select as ear as the meditation object. Close your eyes and allow any sound, play any sound. Om, Om, Om. The sound, when sound comes, the hearing capacity is experienced. When sound goes, it's not experienced. This is how you have to practice. Then you can focus on your hearing capacity. You can become one with that. You can be absorbed by that. There, dharana siddhi and dhyana siddhi, samadhi siddhi. It is known as grahana samadhi. Samadhi in hearing, with hearing capacity. Then you can become on you, grahitra samadhi. Grahitra means that is who receives the knowledge. There you can contemplate, you can practice dharana, then you can set the dhyanam, then you can set samadhi. Now Vedantic samadhi says, so grihitru is not only small I. The grihitru should be focused as the big I. Aham Brahmasmi. So real I to be contemplated. That real I to be informed first. So when is to inform? Before sitting the meditation, not in the meditation. That I cannot be found through the meditation. In the beginning itself we are clear about it. The meditation won't bring knowledge of Atma. The meditation won't bring knowledge of anything else. Pramanas alone valid. Means hearing, Shravanam is the pramana. Therefore, before sitting meditation, one should have completed the Shravanam and Mananam. Shravanam means hearing about myself as Akarta, Abhokta, Sarvagataha, Sthanuhu, Achalaha, Yate Mriyate va kadachit, Nayam bhotva bhavita va na bhuyaha, Ajo nitya shashvatoyam puranaha na hanyate hanyamane sharire. It is not born, therefore it is not going to die. Then it is all pervasive, it cannot be destroyed. So this I has to be given nityaha, sarvagataha, sthanuhu, achalaha. So all those things must be given before the meditation. Now when I am able to, or I am trying to contemplate on my I, then I have to get the help of the words from Vedanta. At that time, I relive with my teaching which was unfolded by the Guru. It is known as Dharana. With the help of the words of Vedanta, Aham Brahma Asmi, Aham Sarvagataha Asmi. Aham Brahmasmi means I am nothing but Brahman. So Brahman means that which is all pervasive. I am all pervasive. Dharana, I am all pervasive. But Buddhi will deny, no, only you are body pervasive. Only you are pervaded, only in your body or not. But no, Aham Brahmasmi. Those all clear-cut understanding becomes as Mananam part. So doubtless Shravanam. So clear understanding already is there. Now I am contemplating on my real Swarupa with the help of Vedic, means Vedanta Shabdaha. Therefore that meditation, Dharana itself known as Sabdanavidha Dharana. Then Sabdanavidha Dhyanam, Shabdanavidha Samadhi. Finally, with the help of those words, I will center my focus on me. Finally, I am observed by me. When I am observed, that is known as Savikalpa Samadhi. Then everything remains all together in me. Slowly, I can realize Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So only one remains. That only one remaining entity is nothing but Atma. So that meditation continues even after opening the eyes, even after getting up from the asana. You continue with that understanding. That's Brahmani Adaya Sangam Tektva. So you have become that, when the Rasagulla is made, that Rasagulla is put into the sugar liquid, it is absorbed completely. The Buddhi which is absorbed by Aham Brahmasmi, assimilated knowledge through the process of meditation. This is what the meditation process by which you can assimilate or absorb the knowledge. This is known as Vedantic meditation. So need not to get confused. This Vedantic meditation which helps me to digest the knowledge which I received from the Guru about myself. So now I am nothing but all pervasive Atma. I am not born, therefore I am not going to die. So I am not all the 6 kinds of modification. I am not this Sharira. Sharira exists in me, world exists in me, all understanding from previous verses. Sarva bhotasthamaatmanam sarva bhotani chatmani ikshate yoga yuktatma. So this yogi who could understand as the self-consciousness and as the all-pervasive consciousness with all the body, then finally he concludes only one consciousness exists. It's a beautiful method, marvelous infrastructure of the meditation. Then he is considered as Ishvara. He doesn't find the difference from between Ishvara and him, between world and him. But he continues with the normal transaction outside, but inside he is completely absorbed by the knowledge. That absorption called samadhi. He continues with the samadhi. Therefore, what? No pain, no limited pleasure can make or fluctuate his buddhi. His buddhi becomes sthita prajnaha, well established buddhi. That buddhi is vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana. That is what the knowledge of meditation was given by Lord Krishna, and he also gave the example of a lamp which is kept in the place where there is no light, then uparapanam, chitta uparamanam. Finally, he concluded sukham atyantikam yattad buddhi grahyam atindriyam veti yatrana chaivayam sthitas chalati tattvataha. So finally, he gave the 7 definitions of the samadhi. Up to verse number 32, he gave all the definitions of samadhi. Then Arjuna had doubt. It seems to be so complicated things, Krishna. It is so difficult because my mind and body is not practiced in that way. Therefore, he has the questions. Through his questions, 2 kinds of obstructions were introduced. That obstructions, what? The mind which is fluctuated, and the buddhi which is not endowed with Atma Tattvam. In fact, this is one obstruction which is great obstructions. Then 2 solutions were given by Lord Krishna, because after receiving the knowledge, Arjuna talks, it's so complicated. My mind doesn't have the capacity to digest this much knowledge you have given. Then what should I do, Krishna? Chanchalam hi manah Krishna pramathi balavadridham tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. Immediately the Krishna said, asamshayam mahabaho manodurnigraham chalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grhyate. 2 kinds of solutions, abhyasa and vairagya, was introduced. Abhyasa means tatra sthitau yatno abhyasaha, the proper effort, continuous effort. With vairagya, vairagya means again dispassion which is endowed with distinguishing capacity. This viveka and vairagya are emphasized by all the acharyas in all over the world. Whatever the religion prescribes the spiritual activity, they are endowed with viveka and vairagya. Okay, Sanatana Dharma, it establishes very well these 2 activities, vairagya, viveka, which is endowed with vairagya, and abhyasa. Then Arjuna brings one more topic. So if the sadhana is distracted in between, what will be the benefit? Then the Krishna gives, there is no loss at all, there is no problem at all. He will definitely get punya, because Vedanta Shravanam, Vedanta Mananam, Vedanta Nididhyasanam only will fructify punya side by side. The mukhya prayojanam is moksha, gavana prayojanam is even punyam. If the person is not able to attain the liberation, he will be born in a proper place. From there, he will continue where he left in the previous birth. Yoga bhrashtaha, being yoga bhrashtaha. Yoga bhrashtaha means who is left in between. He will continue from the next janma. He will reach the destination. This all sanchita prarabdha karma will lose their capacity to occupy him. It's a huge thing by Shastra. Once you complete the 6th chapter, this 6th chapter alone is enough to get the stay order of your own sanchita karma. No sanchita karma will affect you. And even after surrendering towards Guru, your prarabdha karma won't help. Means it won't affect you. It means what? Your sanchita karma and prarabdha karma, for the time being, it will stop. Then this Vedanta will, means the knowledge of Vedanta will make you in a new environment in the next janma, from where you could continue with the knowledge. Then finally he reaches the destination. So that's what Krishna concluded. Tatra tam buddhi sayyogam. Then labhate paurva dehikam. From there he will be getting connection of last birth where he left. From there he will continue. Then finally he says, he compares all yogis are great yogis, but this yogi, the meditator, who is called Vedantic meditator, he is the supreme one, he is the greatest among all other yogis. So this is how the 6th chapter is completed by Lord Krishna. We will begin the 7th chapter from the next session, means next episode from tomorrow. Harihi Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.